Today's video will be dealing with basic drywall repair. Out in the field, you're going to experience many times that you're going to have to remove drywall when you're dealing specifically with plumbing repairs or electrical repairs. Here you can see that the drywall wasn't cut nice, it was actually hammered out, and so we're going to have to just fix all of this. You can see here that this portion has been compromised, so we don't want to reuse this. We're going to actually replace this section as well. The important thing when you're dealing with drywall repair is just ensuring that you have a proper back support. A lot of times when you're doing with drywall repair, you won't have a stud here, so when I put my sheetrock back in, I can just screw my drywall screw right into the stud. But many times, let's say like on this side, we don't have any support, or you may not have support on either side, so we're going to have to add a support so that when we screw it in, it has a nice, secure, firm hold. What I want to do before I start is I want to get a nice clean line all the way around this drywall. And the reason I'm doing that is because it'll be very difficult to make pieces like this, so you want to just make a nice clean marker around the section, and then we're going to measure it and cut out our new drywall and then install that with our support. Here I used my level, just made some marks, and right now I have a 12-inch by a 6.5-inch. Now instead of cutting this out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it on the piece of drywall that I already have, and then we're going to use that and cut around that piece of drywall that we cut out. And I'll show you, it's a really great trick. A lot of times when you cut out a section and then you try to match the drywall and just shove it in, it's much more difficult, and this is just a faster, quicker way of resolving that issue. Here I used my level and my measuring tape, and here I have my 12 by 6 piece. In your drywall, you just want to take a blade and just score along where you made your measurements. I usually go about 3 times, just scoring over it, and then we're just gonna remove this piece of drywall. Here is the piece that I'm going to be putting in. I marked all the way around, and you can see I'll be using this as a template when I'm making my cut. See here, this is my marking, which is the darker one, and we're going to cut this out, and then we're going to put our new piece in. Make your cut nice and square. You should be able to use that piece of drywall that you used to measure as your template, and it should slide right in. Here it went right in without any issues. Now I did put a little marker over here just so I know where my stud is, but we're gonna have to put our support on this portion of the drywall to safely secure it. At this point we're ready to just install our backing support. Here I should have a piece of wood, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just screw this wood in on this side. And basically you just want to make sure you have a piece that's long enough that you can actually grab. This may be a little too long, but it's fine. It'll fit right in there. And we'll use that for support. If you had a piece of drywall where you needed backing or support on both sides, you basically do one side here and one side here. Depending how big it is, that would obviously change. You may need one in the middle. We're done. We can go ahead and install our drywall. You can see here, it's just one screw here, one screw. It's nice and strong and solid. We dry fit our piece of drywall, and now we're ready to secure it. Here, we're nice and flush with the wall. You just want to make sure that when you are putting in your drywall screws, that you're not using too much torque, because there are times where you use an impact drill or your regular drill and it'll actually break through the drywall. So just take your time when you're doing it. Don't apply too much pressure. Just make sure that all 4 sides are nice and flush and even with your wall. To complete the project, you'll want to use your joint compound and your tape just to fix the seam around. You'll have to sand it down, and then you'll have to use the knockdown texture just to finish the project. But I wanted to keep this video nice and short, and this was just specifically for drywall repair. If this video was a help, if it was informational, please subscribe.